Hi, Gaye DeRusso with the Majestic Rider, here today with Izzy. Everybody is very slow today, right? You're all tired from yesterday. So Izzy is a Rocky Mountain horse. When she's loose, she will trot, gait, and she can pace. She can also canter. If my saddle looks funny to you, I got the saddle pad up a little far today. So it might look like I'm sitting on her shoulders, but I'm behind them. Okay, so Izzy is here because her mom is away, and we're working on making her gait better and trying to get her to do it in a better frame. So I do all the basic things. In other words, this is much harder for her. The lateral flexion, she's better on the left, good girl, and not so good on the right, so I don't force it. She's a little bit sensitive and touchy, and when things touch her neck, she doesn't like it. And you never know what's happened to them in their life, so there might have been something that happened to her and bothers her neck. So I don't make her come way back to my foot. She's trying, and she's curved her head, and that's good enough for me. So then we make sure that she knows how to put her head down pretty well. Are you going to put your head straight? Which she does. And then we're going to walk our circles. So with her, what I do before I ride her is I lunge her, and she trots, which is great. So when I lunge her, I like her to trot because when her gaits are not so good, she usually gets pacey. So I'd like to bring a little bit more trot out of her. So I lunge her, even though she's quiet, just to let her get those muscles going and get her more diagonal. And then after that, I walk her over these poles because it helps me to see how sure-footed they are, how their proprioception is, and when they're pacey, it also is something good to kind of break up that pace and get them going more square. When we talk about more square, we're just talking about making their gait better and making it more true gait versus her being so pacey. So if I can get, when you have a pacey horse, if you can get a little bit more trot into them or teach them how to trot so they start doing it loose, a lot of times it'll make that gait better, and they'll naturally start gaiting just being loose because now they know there's different muscles they can use and they're getting stronger, so it gets much, much better. So if I can, I try to teach all the horses to trot. I don't usually do it under saddle because most of the clients have enough problems, and I don't want to give them one more thing to deal with or to learn because they're learning so much. But I do trot a lot of them if I can teach them to trot and I have the time, because it helps the vet. It usually also helps the owner. It makes them more sure-footed, gives them a little bit better proprioception, and helps if they want to canter as well. Okay? Because so many people are afraid to let them trot. I'm like, they trot naturally. Many of them do. So it's not a big deal. It's the same thing as the pace. I don't mind when they pace when they're running around loose because they have that pace, and that's why they can gait, some of them, so well. So I want to let them use it, but I do want to build up different muscles, and since we're riding them, we want to make sure those pacey ones are sure-footed. So with her, I do all the basic arena work that you see, so you can skip ahead if you want, but of course I'm going to tell you all secrets in between, so you shouldn't skip ahead. But anyhow, just like and subscribe and then skip ahead. I do all that lateral work. And with her, I was walking the whole arena routine, but I want to cut it down, especially since I'm videotaping it. And so I'm going to do the whole routine at her flat walk. Now, she's forward, but she's also lazy. She's kind of one of those horses in between, so you can get her to move, but you do have to stay a little bit on her case. Her biggest problem is speed control. In other words, she doesn't stay the same speed. She goes, and then she just goes faster and faster. And that happens a lot of times when the horses have only been ridden out on the trail, because that's what most people do. So that's what they learn. They ask them to gait, and then everybody wants to go faster, right? Because everybody's hooked on speed. So they go faster and faster, and so the horse learns, when we start to gait, I'm just supposed to go as fast as I can, and so that's what they do. But to make their gaits better and to get them healthier and stronger, we have to ride them from their hindquarters forward, because we want them to push with their back end instead of just pulling and having all their weight on the front end. And again, this is just for their health and in the long term. You see she's getting a little wiggly here. But we want them to push and drive with their hindquarters to raise their back ups underneath it, to make them stronger so they can carry us better so we don't hurt them. And we have to do a lot of that stuff in the arena first to teach them, because it's easier in here, and then teach them out on the trail, and then you can do it anywhere. But you're trying to do all those things, and the more we make these circles and leg yields and lateral movements like the serpentine, all of those things help to make the horse more flexible, and it also teaches them how to move their center of their body as well as their shoulders and the hindquarters. And the more you can move your horse's body parts, the more you can help them to gait. Because if I don't have anything to show this horse, hey, I want you to move your shoulders over, if I don't have anything to communicate, and I'm always talking about, your toolbox, what's in your toolbox, then I can't use that tool because I don't have it. And when you have a horse that paces, if you can get them to take just 1 or 2 steps sideways while you're going forward, like in a leg yield, which I'm going to do right now. So again, I'm flat walking, and now I'm leg yielding her over. By leg yielding her over, it helps to separate those legs farther away or go more towards a trot instead of a pace. So the more time we have between that back hind leg and the front hind leg on the same side moving, so the farther apart they are, or the timing is different, I'm trying to explain it as many ways as I can, that horse will be more comfortable because its gait will be better. But the more those legs are moving in synchronicity, the more that they're going to pace because the legs are moving at the same time. So we got to get those legs to move at different times. So I like to teach them to leg yield. I teach them all shoulder in, which is hard for a lot of people because a lot of you don't have dressage basics, and so you got to get your coordination. So choose your leg yield. That's not that hard to do. And then in time, if you can get that shoulder in, you'll be able to raise their shoulders or push them over, because a lot of times when they pace, they'll drop a shoulder. And if you can just push it back over, your gait will come back. Okay? So you want to make sure in the arena you have the same speed control. So you'll see I've been trying to keep the same speed. Even though I'm doing all these movements, I'm trying to keep that same speed. So when you're a newbie, I recommend just doing my arena routine at a plain trail walk. Now we're going to stop and back up. Oh, always get their head down. Give them a second, then back up. So pull, release, teach them how to steer backwards and how to be straight. Good girl. And then ask her to go forward and push off. But the more I can teach her how to move her body parts, it gives me more tools, so more things I can use to help her to get her back into gait. But when you don't know any of those things, you have no tools, and even if the horse knows what to do, like it understands how to leg yield and do a shoulder in because somebody taught it, if you don't know how to do it, you don't have that tool. Does that make sense? So you got to have the tool, but you got to know how to use the tool. In other words, how to ask the horse to do those things, like stop and back up. Or if you don't know how to stop a horse, it doesn't matter. I always sit back, take my legs up, whoa, and then I pull back. So look, you see what she's doing? I told you, it's like magic. So she stopped herself from just me breathing, and then she started to back up. Why do I want her to back up? Well, one, it engages her back end, her hindquarters, because when I move forward, she's going to push over it. So it gets that hindquarter underneath them, and it is going to strengthen her top line as well. And the better that backup, the better my hoe is going to be. Now, when you do these turn on the forehands, a lot of these horses get a little wobbly, so just go slow. Okay? Sometimes we're trying to do things way too fast and whip the horses around. Make sure you're set up, make sure you look where you're going, and then use your aids, like your reins and your legs. Those are called aids, in case you don't know. Okay? So this is her flat walk, so her head's going up and down. When she first came in for lessons, this horse threw its head a lot, and you know what we did? We ignored it. And every time she had a problem, instead of yanking or pushing on her, we just pushed our hands forward and got out of her mouth, because most of the time when she was playing with her head, she was trying to put her tongue over the bit. Okay? And that happens a lot if people previously weren't riding with much contact. The horse isn't used to it, so they object. So all we did was just push our arms forward. There, she sped up a little bit, so I just half halted, and that why it kind of looked jerky. And she just came in for training, so I spent on her a couple of days. But anyhow, we just pushed our hands forward. So you can try popping their head up and do different things. It depends on the horse, but because she did this kind of weird thing, I thought something really was bothering her, but could we work through it? She's not trippy, she doesn't stumble, she doesn't do anything bad, but any horse can have some nerve issues just like people can. Think of how many people get carpal tunnel, right? So we can all get stuff, we can all get injuries, they can get injured even when they're born, stuff can happen. So we just want to work her through it. She's a good horse, but we also want to listen, like, hey, that bothers you. So you'll see she doesn't throw her head anymore. But sometimes if I rub her on the neck or give her a little scratch, she doesn't like it. She shakes her head, okay? But if I rub her butt or scratch her butt, she likes that. So I do not need to rub this horse's neck. There's no reason I need to rub it. So I listen to her like, hey, I see you don't like that. It must be uncomfortable. Maybe you get pins and needles when I do that to you. So, again, each horse is different, and, you know, I'm a trainer, so I can tell the difference between they're just being behavioral or it's being pain or something like that, and I think something really, you know, does affect her. So she's a good horse, so I'm trying to help her. There, she just sped up half halt is what I did, and then I pushed her forward. So I'm trying to help her with that. And the more you're aware of these things when these horses do the funny things, the more they appreciate and trust you, because they're like, oh my God, finally someone understands I don't like my neck touched. Finally someone understands that when they scratch me there, it gives me pins and needles, and that's why I've been shaking my head. So I tested a lot of things yesterday because I was really trying to figure things out. So I made sure the reins touching against her neck weren't bothering her. But anytime I did anything with my fingers on her neck, she didn't like it. Okay? So if you have a horse like that, other things I might do is put a pole protector, which is up on the top of her head, because pole pressure might bother her, like the bridle. Even though this is a nice bridle and she's doing okay, I want to see if I can make her more comfortable, okay? Because if they have any problems up there, then of course it can go down their neck. So we can use pole pressure relief, and I'll try to put that in the links if you're interested in one of those things to see if it'll help your horse. But just be very aware, and you try to work things up and see, you know, what makes it better, what makes it worse, and then listen to the horse. You know, sometimes it's something in the past just reminds of something, but sometimes it is bothering them. They feel weird things, but everything else is good with her. So she probably does have some sensitivity in that neck or some nerve stuff going on from the past. Okay, so her flat walk is pretty good. Here and there, she speeds up, and she, you know, might change a little bit, but overall she's pretty good. And she can flat walk faster than this, but this is not about speed. This is about teaching her what to do, because of course now I'm doing my shoulder, and they can all go faster in time, okay? But her owner's not a big speed demon, so I don't need to make her go real fast. I just got to make sure she keeps the same speed. So if you have a Rocky, many of these Rockies can do a flat walk, and that way you can, I try to get all gaited horses to do a flat walk because then you can all ride together. But some of the times I've ridden with Rockies in the past, they just trail walk and they go super fast. And they have no in-between speeds, and it drives me crazy because then we can't ride with those people because they're too slow, because I have a walking horse, so they're way too slow, and then they're way too fast. But if you got a flat walk, and she can do a running walk too, then you got a lot of other options if you're a trail rider. This is not for show people. So this is a trail rider. You got a lot of other options, so you have different speeds you can ride with other people. That makes a big difference. Oh, the other thing I'm going to mention is a lot of people with Rockies just walk and they don't seem to gait much. Okay, everybody's different, but that's what I see a lot of is kind of older women who don't want to gait, and then when they do gait on the Rockies don't gait that well. Even if the horse gaited well when you got it, if you don't practice gaiting, they lose it. Think of how many of us don't write very well anymore because we're always texting. We're never writing anything. Half of us can't even sign our names anymore. So it's the same thing. If you have a horse that gaits well, practice the gait. Oh, good girl. See her put her head down on her own? She's a smart horse, and I'm hardly putting much pressure on her. I'm just squeezing a little bit on the rein. Now let's see if she'll shake her head. See that? That's why I don't want to do it. See this? She don't mind that. Good girl. So I'm not going to pet her on the neck because I'm showing her, yeah, I get it. You don't like it, so I won't do that. Lots of us also are ticklish. This is not a tickle, but lots of us are ticklish, and we don't like when people tickle us. Okay? What do? We usually punch them because they're usually our friends or boyfriends screwing around with us, or brothers or sisters. So, oh, good girl. So she's getting it. So in time, she's just going to stop and back up on her own. Okay, I'm going to let her sit for a minute. Now, see, I went to touch her neck because we're so used to doing that, and then I touched her hair instead because she did okay with that, and then I'm going to rub her butt. So now I'm going to go to her saddle gait, okay? Now, with her saddle gait, she would get a little bit pacey. So when she gets pacey, I want to do some lateral movements, like a leg yield or shoulder in, push your shoulders over, or I can also put in a pole if I need to. Good girl. So now I'm going to do our turn on the forehand. She's already ready. She's like, here I go. So there she's moving her front end a little bit much, but again, I'm not being too picky either because she just got here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is speed her up. She was gaiting with her head kind of up and stuck out, and she was trotty. So that's probably how they got her to gait, which is fine. But now we're trying to make it better and more comfortable because she was just a little bit step pacey, a lot are, but she's now with a gaited trainer, so why not get her to gait even smoother than that? The step pace is smooth, but it does have a little bounce to it. Okay, so you see I got my reins short, I got some contacts, I'm ready to go, and I'm going to squeeze with both legs and see what happens. So here we go. So that's more towards a running walk. Now there she goes. Now I'm just going to let it go so you can see. So see, it's smooth, but I have a little bounce. It's a little side-to-side bounce because everybody's always like, what is the step pace? So it feels very smooth. It's very nice, but it could be better. So I'm going to take a hold of her right now, push her off my left leg because she's tilted in, a little tap with the stick because she's slowed down, and try to get her underneath me to carry me better instead of just swinging her legs. And then as we go around, we're going to try to make it better each time. So not bad. That's not as good. So a little bit more bend, and again, the footing changes as you goes around. So you got to be able to do 20 things at the same time. So she just pulled, I held. So I tightened my core and tightened my thighs to kind of hold on to her. I'm bending her a little bit more. So she cuts in a little to the left. So as I bend her and push with my left spur a tiny bit, I hold my outside rein to catch her. That's hard to do. It's all timing. Now here, not so good. So see her head kind of swing side to side. If not, review it. You'll see it. That's when she's step pacing, kind of goes side to side. So I can feel what her body's doing. A lot of people, when you're new, you can't, but I could feel her hind quarter falling in, and you might have seen me just bring my left leg back. So she's trying. She's doing pretty good. Oh, now that was pretty good. Good girl. I'm not even doing anything except holding. Okay, now I'm going to give her a break for a second. Now I'm going to rub her butt. See her shake her head? So again, it might be the mane, it might be, my rein on her neck that's bothering her, but I want her to know that was the right thing to do. And again, with the cameras not on, I rest them a lot longer. Now I'm going to pick up and go again. So she's only been here a couple of days and she's already better, but of course I'm a trainer, so I know how to ride and communicate with her. I gave her tools because she's been taking lessons. So the horse has the tools, and of course she had some tools when she came as well. She's a nice horse. So the owner had to learn how to use the tools. She's still learning those things, like the leg yield and shoulder in and how to bend her correctly and how much to hold her. But you'll see I have a fair amount of contact. I'm not letting go of her because she doesn't know yet. If I let go, she'll get like one step of this gait, and then she'll probably step pace. What's that going to teach her? Nothing. So I'm going to help her, and then in time, there we go. Good girl. So there I released more on her. But she needs a slower gait because, again, it depends. So many trainers train for the trainer. You want to, sorry, she got confused. You want to train for the rider. So I know she's not going to go fast. So I want to give her a gait that she can do that's smooth and comfortable and not super fast. And once she can do that consistently, the speed just comes. It's not like I have to practice the speed with this horse. Okay? So there she's pretty good, but I'm half halting. Squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. Jiggle my butt a little on the saddle, kind of side to side to get her into my rhythm with the saddle gait. So you'll see my butt kind of moving side to side, and then squeeze, relax, so I'm doing that a lot to help her to stay in the right frame and the right speed. And then when she cuts in, I push her out. So yes, I'm doing all that at the same time, but you can't see me doing it. So there she bulged out to the right, and I caught her with my right rein and leg. Now I'm kind of moving my seat side to side. Her head's still moving a little bit, but now it's stopped. Good girl. Now her hind quarter, as I backed up, went the wrong way, so you want to correct it. Because again, they make associations. And if you don't correct them, they'll be like, when I back up, she likes my butt to go to the right. And you're like, no, I don't. And they're like, yeah, you do. Because every time I do that, you stop and reward me. So you like it. And you're like, no, I don't. You got to tell the horse. So if you want it to back up straight, you got to make them back up straight. You keep backing up until they are straight. That's when you stop, and that's when they go, oh, she likes me to back up straight, and then I get a nice long rest. Okay, so we're going to go the other way in a minute, because that was pretty good for that way, and she's going to get better. But we don't need to hammer her the first couple of days she gets here. Just like with anything, you want to reward the try, help it to get better, and then over time ask for more and more. But if I tried to get her to do that saddle gait for an hour, it's not going to go so well. She's not conditioned enough to hold the gait because they're not gaiting all the time. So her muscles aren't ready for it. If she's going up and down hills, she's going to be tired. So she's going to tend to try to pace and trot more if I tried to do it too long, especially out there. Okay. So I feel like she benefits from the stick because when I ride with this dressage whip, I can give her little taps to keep her going. Sometimes when I push with my leg, I think she's being used to being pushed too fast, so she speeds up too much. But a little wave of the stick works pretty well. All right, so see how far my reins are in front of the saddle? Because everybody gets them too long to start. As you get better and your horse is better, you can get longer, but in the beginning, you want them a little bit short. Okay, so she's relaxed, she's in a good frame, so I'm going to add leg and start speeding up. Now she's going, now I'm going to get ready to hold her. So not tight, it's less than a pound of pressure. Okay, so I'm wiggling a little bit back and forth. That's pretty good. Now I hold her on the turns, because on the turn she falls apart. So I hold her by kind of squeezing my butt, my thighs, and straightening my back, and then pressing with my right leg all at the same time. I told you this is not easy, okay? Just like with anything, when you do it all the time, you can feel stuff. It becomes easier. In the beginning, you're like, what am I supposed to do? How can I do all those things at the same time? So there she kind of tripped, and then she got stuck. So I gave her 2 little taps with my stick. Okay, so I'm holding her on this turn. I'm bracing myself, holding with my thigh, squeezing my butt, but not letting her speed up as I do those things. So as I'm holding her, I'm also holding her with my hands. Now I'm relaxing a little bit. Okay, now she's speeding up, so squeeze, relax. Squeeze, relax. If she gets a little too speedy, squeeze, relax. And I push a little bit with my seat or my legs at the same time. Okay? Ooh. So she was doing really well. So what do you want to do? You want to keep going? No, 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 no. Stop. Give her a break. Give her a little reward. That's her paycheck. There she goes with shaking her head. So scratch her butt, not her neck. She's like, oh. And then we're going to go again. So the hard part, the gaited horses, especially if they're trotty and pacey, you got to do a lot of stuff. And you got to practice in the arena, because on the trail it's much harder. A lot of people say, well, you teach me on the trail. And I go, I'll teach you in the arena first, then we go on the trail. Because you won't hear me, I can't see everything you're doing, and the terrain's changing all the time. So it's easier but harder. You might get good gait, but not as long as if you get it in here. And if you get it in here, you can usually get it anywhere. Okay? So now I'm going to shorten up and try it again. She's like, seriously? I thought that was it. Okay? So shorten up and get ready. No rushing. See her turning her head. So again, maybe the rein was touching her. Okay. Sometimes I make a loop with my rein like that if it keeps getting stuck underneath the saddle pad. So I'm going to sit up tall, get ready to go, squeeze with both legs. I'm looking ahead. I catch the energy with my hands. So squeeze, relax, squeeze, relax. Now if you see her ears flopping, that's a good sign, because that means she's relaxed. You'll see me wiggling back and forth in the saddle just a little. So just a little jiggle. That was her stifle giving out. No big deal. Okay, 1 or 2 stifles given out in the arena with a gaited horse is not a big deal, especially when they're barefoot, because they slide in the footing. They can't grab the traction, and then their stifle slides. Okay, she's cutting into the right. So with her, when I go to the right, I feel her hind quarter drift in. So I kind of bring my leg back at times to help her to stay in gait. And when you can't feel those things, you can't correct it. That's why we can get on and all of a sudden get them to gait, because I'm like, oh, their hindquarters in, oh, their shoulders are out, and I can feel it and I can fix it. But if I could feel it and I didn't know how to fix it, that wouldn't help either. You got to be able to do both. So she's leaning on my hands a little bit, so I kind of half halt and let go, because I'm talking. So sometimes I forget to let go. Right here, she fell apart last time, so I'm going to sit back and hold her a little bit, and then release again. Now she fell apart right there, so I'm pushing with my left leg because your shoulders drifted. I brought my right leg back. So my left leg went forward and my right leg went back over there. She got fast there, so I half halted, but I held like I'm holding. Now I'm going to release. Because when she's going too fast, I don't just tap on the brakes. I hold till she slows down. So right here, I'm going to hold, get her to organize. I'm still holding. Now I'm going to release. She's like, last time we stopped over here. And I was like, yeah, not anymore. So she's got to get better. It's not that she just gets to stop. So see, now she's not as comfortable. My reins got a little long because these rope reins can do it. That's why I ride with the rubber reins, because they don't slide as much. So now she's not as good. So let me wiggle a little bit more. What I'm telling her is follow my rhythm, because your rhythm's not right. There, that's better. See, she's just waiting to stop. Oh, good girl. And then she just backed up. So she did that all on her own. So that was pretty good, I think, for today. No? You want to go again? I'm just joking. She doesn't want to go again. She's tired. She's sweaty. I don't want to overdo it, so that was good. So we'll work on some other things in the arena, but I'm done with gating. And since her owner is newer, I don't really want to can her and do all sorts of stuff yet. I want to put the time into her gait, and when she can gait really well, then if they're not back from vacation, then I'll start working on cantering. I'm not trying to do it all at the same time because it'll be too overwhelming. But very nice horse. She's bred well. You can see she has a good temperament. She's kind. She tries to do the right things. It's just making sure she has the tools on her, and then making sure the owner knows how to use the tools, and then me helping them getting started by getting that gait a little bit better. So the horse understands, so when the owner does it, it'll be much easier for her to do it. But she's been doing really well. If you watch any of her lessons, she has been doing great with her. She's like, why did you throw that? I throw a lot of stuff because I want them used to everything. All right, so I hope that helps. If you have a Rocky, that's trotty and pacey. Rockies are great horses, but they can do so many different things. And so you got to be able to get them right in that groove of the gait and then hold them there at the right speed, staying balanced with some engagement, not getting crooked, not leaning left or right or dropping their shoulders, and with a decent carriage so we don't, because you will see me ride horses with their heads way up to get their gait in the beginning, but I try as they get better to bring that head set down so it's more comfortable for their neck and so we don't hurt their neck or their SI joints or their stifles. All right, I hope that helps. Remember to like and subscribe.